Yeah, and in those big productions, I mean, what's the cost per hour? It's thousands.
I will say this: it certainly affects how you approach everything you do because of the costs per minute on set.
Yeah.
People talk about, well, we'd like to do something practically on set. Okay, you can maybe, like an example is, just a common thing: someone gets shot in a movie scene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could rig a squib on the person and have them bleed. If I need to do a take 2, we've got to change out their wardrobe, go back to clean wardrobe again. Everything involved in setting that, squibbing out, is going to take so much time. Or I can do it in post and I can, boom, put a CG effect on there and be done with it.
Yeah.
Because of the cost on set, if I spend 10 minutes doing a reset on something, I can spend a guy to spend 3 weeks making that blood stain look great for less than the cost of spending 10 minutes on set, just because of the cost of paying an entire crew. And that drives a lot of creative decisions. The economics of the business, the per minute cost on set, changes a lot of the creative choices you make, not because you think they're necessarily the best choice or the way you'd like to do it, but because they become the most cost efficient choice in that per minute world.
Which is unfortunate sometimes, but yeah.
It is unfortunate sometimes, but we're also getting real good at making stuff look good in post. That's
true.
what I do.
Yeah, some CGI now is indiscernible from reality.
I have people sometimes coming up saying, "Oh man, I can always tell those CG shots," and it's like, no,
you can't.
You can only tell the ones you recognize.
You can tell the bad ones.
Yeah, I can show you a bunch that I guarantee you never knew.
A lot of it's CGI now.
Oh yeah,
a lot of the backgrounds and stuff, they're not real.
But
you can't tell.
People all the time will come up and they see the end credits in this long list of visual effects thing. It's like, were there effects in that movie?
The whole movie.
You have no idea how much is done in effects these days.
Yeah, you can't tell what's real and what's not real if it's done well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was telling Daniel about a new game engine that's out. It's the Unreal 5 game engine. It's unbelievable. Like it's photorealistic graphics, and you can't tell what's real and what's not real, except for the character in the demo is, you can tell that's a CGI character, but the actual the environment is indiscernible from reality, even down to the pebbles.
Unreal Engine is being used by a lot of people for post work sometimes. It's also used for creating storyboards and simulations, for environments, for plotting things out. People are using Unreal Engine for all kinds of stuff. It's a very popular tool right now.
Yeah, they're actually using, with that engine, they can take sculptures from ZBrush and actually put them in these environments, which is amazing. And those are photorealistic sculptures. I mean, there's artists now that can do digital sculptures of people, and you can't tell that it's not a real photograph, except it just looks more three-dimensional.
Yep. No, the technology keeps advancing.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think 10, 20 years from now, it's going to be a different world, completely.
Absolutely.
Have you done any work in video games or?
I have not done any work in real video games. No, I have not. I got close a couple of times because, especially in the beginning, where they were shooting the cut scenes on green screen, where you just, like in the early ones, where you just have an actor and get a name actor in there, and then they'd shoot him on a green screen to do a bunch of bits. Did a little bit of that very early on, but no, I don't do much work in video games.
Have you seen the series? What is it? Sex, Love, and Robots, or something? Love, Death, and Robots, something like that.
I didn't see that one.
It's on Netflix. It's really cool. It's an animated series, but it's really like a what do you call it? Like a compilation of short films, animated shorts.
I did see, actually, now I think about it, see two of them.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
And I thought about maybe pursuing a film in that genre, because it seems like you could do a lot of stuff cheaper. Like if you had to have, some really good special effects, if you could just shoot it with live people, live actors, and then animate over them, and then all the CGI stuff you need, you could just add it in post. And it's because those animated films are so well made. After you watch them for about 2 or 3 minutes, you forget it's animated, and then you see something impossible, and you're like, "Oh yeah, this is not real. This is animation. Like this is CGI."
It's the story you want to tell if it lends itself to that particular form.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's certainly some that do. This Waking Life was an early one of that, where they rotoscoped over all the actors. They shot it all as a film, and then they rotoscoped all the actors.
Who's in that?
It's a Linklater.
Yeah, it was an Art Linklater film.
I'll check that out. I haven't seen
no.
that.
No.
What's the other one that was really good? Scanner Darkly?
Same director.
Okay. Yeah, that was a good one too. Kind of ahead of his time. Have you ever worked in any animated films?
No, but I would certainly like to. There's a company out of Winston-Salem called Out of Our Minds, and I work with those guys a lot. We did a film here in town called Iborgs, which
I saw that on your IMDb.
best Keller robot movie to come out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina that year. Absolutely. But they were one of the teams that did robots in that, and they were amazing. And I still work with them on post-work. I bring them in on all kinds of stuff. Most recently, they did work on Becky.
Okay.
But most recently, we are finishing a film now called Chick Fight, which is kind of a comedy female fight club with
nice.
Malin Ackerman and Alec Baldwin.
Ah, wow.
And that'll be out in the next 2 months. We are just literally this week, we are delivering the master files. I mean, that's my part of the job here is getting the files to the distributor. But that should be out in the next month or two. And you can go get it. Highly recommend it. Terrific movie. Really funny. Really good.
That's awesome.
But
where did they shoot that at?
that they shot in Puerto Rico. It's set in Florida, but they shot it in Puerto Rico.
Nice.
But the guys,
I got the tax benefits in Puerto Rico there.
But the guys in Out of Our Minds, they did the title sequence at the end. They designed it and created this nice, cool animated title sequence.
So the company's in Winston, and it's called
Out of Our Minds Animation Studio.
Nice. I didn't know that existed.
Yeah. Oh,
Good.
you got to.
That's a good resource.
Guys.
Yeah. I'll have to
Oh yeah, they're
reach out to those guys.
amazing and talented and wonderful, and they do all kinds of stuff from very photorealistic visual effects work, which I use them for a lot. I've used them on multiple projects now in post. They are just great, but they're also great brainstorming, creative people, and they do terrific animation. And we've talked about possibly doing an animated project together sometime. So not impossible, but yeah.
You know, that's the great thing about technology is the world has gotten so small. Like you don't have to be in LA or Atlanta. You can really be anywhere, and you have no idea where the work's produced because it's all digital.
There are creative people everywhere in the world,
Yeah.
and the democratizing effect of digital media has allowed more and more people to take advantage of that to create stuff.